You're my little baby, Charlie. You're my little baby birdie girl. We're out here celebrating life in the sunshine. My friend and I went to the Queensland Holocaust Museum today at round about lunchtime, and I'm very triggered and distressed, which I knew I would be. It was very triggering because I walk in and what do they see? The Slavic looking face of the enemy, right? So the othering almost beneath consciousness started almost immediately. 4 times I had to remind the staff that I am actually a Jew, which was discomforting beyond belief, because I should not have to announce to anyone whether I'm a Jew or not, but the Slavic face. Thanks, angels. So the staff members, were quite lovely, really, once they wrapped their head around that I was a former member of the Brisbane Jewish community for many, many years, actually. Many years, 30 years. Anyway, once they wrapped their head around it, they suggested I do the VR headset, watch the video about the little girl that gets shot and thrown into a mass grave, which did happen regularly during the Holocaust. It was horrific. And the staff member was watching all my reactions as I reacted with the VR headset to the video. It was a powerful video, very excellently done, very, very horrific and engaging and powerful. And the Tanya being the Tanya, although I'm a Jew by choice, I do have the ancient Teutonic Viking rage that is my trauma response to being othered over the decades, long before I even became a Jew. So the othering has been going on. So I am a unique spirit, and I was being watched. They watched every emotion, every reaction. They said, we recommend you watch this. Can you handle it? I said, oh yes, I have balls, which they found, I think, a bit confronting. But I do have balls. I watched the whole thing because one has to be reminded from time to time of history and genocides and humanity's cruelty to each other. So I wrote in the guest book as I left, because by the time I'd finished looking at all the exhibits, and the last exhibit was about the Nuremberg trials, I was reminded that we have just undergone a very similar dynamic, but in a more subtle, seething, invidious way than having Nazis beating us with batons and forcing us into ghettos and starving, raping and shooting us in mass graves. We had the entire COVID epoch instead. So I wrote a note about my thoughts on that I believe we need Nuremberg trials again in our current history to deal with the absolute degradation and filth that we as contemporary society have just lived through, right? And I signed it with my full name and my signature and my full name printed out, so no one can be any in doubt that I stand by my words. So I will not be popular yet again, and I don't fucking care, because the truth remains the truth. I knew from the outset this was another form of war, and members of my own Jewish community in Brisbane can still be in denial about that all they like, but I'm not. I'm very well aware at the parallels of history that were unfolding, and I spoke out against it from the very beginning, by the way. So now here we sit, my Charlie and I, in the garden, in the sunshine, in my open air prison, in my trauma state, freshly triggered from reminders of the Holocaust, which I can never forget, since I am a survivor of people that lived through that regime. And it lives with me like a dark albatross hag permanently on my shoulder, to the degree that when I turn up to Jewish functions or Jewish type events, I'm kind of othered. I found that very confronting to witness that firsthand again. And I can't do anything about my face. My English, Irish, Scottish, German, Polish face. It's the body and the face that God's gifted me. And I, after watching the VR video, the lady, the staff member who was also Jewish, looked at me. She said, "Thank you for watching that." And I looked at her and with great passion said, "Of course I watched it." I said, "I am first and foremost, always and forever a Jew, and a heathen, and a shaman, and a witch, but always, always a Jew, no matter how lapsed I have let it be." And she looked at me a bit in shock and she said, "Oh, good on you," probably not really knowing what to say to that. You don't get too many Jews that admit to being a heathen and a shaman, having incorporated all manifestations of God into your spirituality and your worldview. I guess that alone is a bit confronting. But I will not shrink myself down to size to appease anyone, any other mortal on this planet, regarding of cultural background, motif, religion, class, creed, ethnicity. I am the Tanya in all my strange and varied and very often deeply, deeply traumatized ways. So there is that. But yes, it's a beautiful museum. It's very tastefully done. It's very triggering if you happen to be of Jewish background, because we know that anti-Semitism is on the rise, and that we are always and forever, for a history of over 2,000 years, live more in mortal danger than most other ethnicities. And that's just the way it is, right? It hasn't changed in thousands of years. It's not going to. But anyway, my darling Lynn is off the phone, so I'm going to be a sociable friend and hostess, and I'll talk to you all later. Good afternoon from sacred space at Titania's realm. Bye for now.